Alright, today we're going to start looking at a game called Astrox Imperium, sequel to a game that came out a few years ago called Astrox Hostile Space Excavations. It's an independently developed space game. The best description of it, the one that makes most sense to people who play space games, is EVE Offline. If you've played EVE Online, you have a pretty good idea what this game's about. Mining, marketing, and some combat. Now, it is an offline game. It is a single player game. There are no other players in the game. There's no multiplayer at all. It's still in early access. It's been in development for a couple of years, but there has been 126 updates released to it, and it looks like the developer is currently releasing updates monthly. From what I've seen so far, the game looks pretty good. You can get it and play it and have a good time with it. I'm just going to go over a few of the basics today as we begin our playthrough. This is our wee little ship right here. This is my starter ship, and it's just a DE-1 basic escort. Now this is the newbie ship. This is just a ship that you can strap a couple of lasers to, or a couple of mining lasers to earn your first few space credits. I don't know what they're called, probably called credits. Now every ship has got some systems that we have to be aware of, like life support, shields, armor, energy. If any of these get down to 0, you're in trouble. Your ship has shields. If you take damage, your shields will go down and they will recharge the next time you go to base. Your armor, if it starts taking damage, then you will have to go and get it repaired. If it gets all the way down to 0, then game over for that ship. Energy allows your ship to move. I haven't ran out of energy in this game yet, but I do remember in the old game that if you ran out of energy in deep space, you could pay some money to have somebody tow you back in. If you run out of energy, obviously your modules and stuff like that are going to stop working, so you have to keep track of that. And life support. Life support goes down slowly depending on where you are. In the star system I'm in right now, which I forget what it's called, but the star system I'm in right now has got a very mild space climate, so even with my newbie life support systems, when I go out into space, my spaceship can last out there for about 40 minutes before it would have to redock. If life support gets all the way down to nothing, you've got 60 seconds to dock, or else game over. Now you can see down here, you can have drones on your ship. I haven't gotten to that point in this game yet. That was part of my favorite part of the old game, was having large number of drones following me around to just nuke anything that I was fighting. Shows the other basic stats like your shield regeneration, how far your scanners can go, physics for your engine, stuff like that. Now there is some lore to the game and some other stuff, but I'm not going to go into all that. I've been through the tutorials. I'm just going to go over some basics. Like right here, like I said, this is my ship. I'm currently docked in Biomate University, which is just a space station. And I can see all the station services over here. Lounge, where I can go and collect news. Market, where I can buy and sell stuff. Refinery. I have some ore in here I'm collecting. I'm going to wait until this is full. I can have 2,500 cubic meters of ore in here before I start refining. I'm going to wait until it gets full before I start refining, just to see what happens. Garage is where you can add and remove modules to your ship. Your ship has active modules and passive modules. Active modules obviously are ones you have to activate, like my 2 ore harvesters here. Passive modules are like this improved mass reduction, which makes things in my cargo holds seem like they're 10% smaller than they actually are. I don't have to activate that. That's always on. As you upgrade to bigger ships, you will have more modules. University is where you go to train your skills. Various things you do in the game will earn you skill points, and you use those skill points to buy skills and to level up skills, which will allow you to have access to other modules. Storage is just where my stuff is stored. At this base, I've got all this stuff stored here from previous refinery runs and some of my newbie equipment. Now, like I said, you do have a limited number of slots, so right now I'm focusing on mining, so I had to remove my weapons. I could have one of each, but I'm mining literally right on the station's doorstep, so I don't need any weapons at the moment, and I am still in the newbie system. Shipyard is where you can go to buy new ships, and these are the current ships that are available at this shipyard. You go to other stations, they have other ships, and each ship has got its own role and different abilities. Like the most expensive ship here is the RF-1 Assimilator. It's a frigate recon. I don't have the skills to buy it, nor do I have the money to buy it, but you can see that it has different things available to it. I can see, oh, it has 5 active slots, 4 passive slots, what it looks like. These are shields, bonuses, stuff like that. So you can buy other ships. You can command more than one ship, I believe, or you have a pilot doing it for you. Fabricator is kind of like crafting. You have to get recipes, which they call docs. I don't have any of those yet. Missions. You can choose to go on missions for various factions. There are different factions in the game. I don't know what impact they actually have on the game at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But yeah, you have different missions, like head to Proctor Center in Void Star Cross, which is another system, which is the one I think I'm actually in. Pick up 4 ion beam class 4s for a light shipment to Tellas and Bitcola. So they have shipment, they have missions where you have to go and look for something in another system, find a lost crate. You have transport, and there were some missions earlier that I saw. Basically, we're just go and kill this dude, obviously. Offices are where you can go and do some of the tutorials. You can also talk to some of these services. I'm not exactly sure what this does yet. Since these all say position occupied, maybe I can apply for these different things. Starcom, I don't know what this is for yet. I'm not going to call anybody. Undock, obviously, helps you undock. Map, this is the Stellar map. I'm currently in Void Starcross, and you can't just hop to any system you want to. You do have to follow Stargates. So from Void Starcross, I could hop over to Ballast Crow, Temple Gates, Starfort Ramos, Felishar, Gate of Alfaris, and Hunu. Now, I don't know if you can see on here, but up in the top right corner, you see that 9.9. If you're familiar with EVE Online at all, then each star system has a security rating. And the security rating essentially means how safe that system is. Void Starcross has got a 9.9 security rating. It's basically as safe as you can be. Excuse me, Starport Ramos has 10 security rating. The lower that number gets, the more raiders and the more danger there will be in that star system, and obviously more valuable resources and stuff like that. And close this out. Now I'm going to show you what I've been working on for just a few minutes. I've been working on mining in space. Right out here, I'm in space right outside the station. This is the station I was just docked in, Biomate University. This is, where'd my asteroid go? This is my little asteroid I've been working on. See, all I have to do is click it, and my ship starts approaching it, and I'll just turn on my mining lasers, and they will go to work. Just like in EVE Online, they will start cycling, sucking out a little bit of ore, and they will automatically turn off. Now this is Adamite ore, newbie ore. This is not making me a ton of money, because I haven't had a chance to go exploring yet. Now all these other rocks out here, I can't click on them yet because they're too far away. These two really big ones here, I know they're Adamite ore, but they're a little bit further away. This rock right here, I can literally just undock, start mining, and then redock, which is why I've been focusing on it. If I click on something, you can see that there's a circle. Hopefully you can see it. There's a circle that starts filling up, and over here on my targeting bar, you can see it. It's scanning the object. Once it gets full, I can see that that is also Adamite ore. I'll go ahead and remove that as well. Now over here on my targeting overview, you can see various things. These purple things are the stargates to other systems. These are other system services, like a public energy generator. If I was to start getting low on energy, I could go and park next to that and have it refill my energy. Now this big structure here in the background is the remains of Imperium, which was a giant spaceship that was supposed to lead humanity to its salvation. Something happened and it blew up. And that's the remains of it. I'm going to go ahead and see if any of these other rocks nearby are something better than adamite. I don't have any problem with adamite. It's just that, you know, I'm not making a ton of money off of it. That's adamite. And you can see this little gray bar underneath here. That's how much is left. So when that gets empty, that asteroid will be gone. I do not know if they respawn like they do in Eve or if they're just gone. If I want to redock with Biomate University, I'll just double click on it. It'll start heading in that direction. I only have to get a few feet and then click on the dock button. Open up the refinery. I can see my ore over here. I'm just going to drag it to the refinery. Now I can activate the refinery and it will start processing this into various trade goods. I'm going to wait until it's full. I'm at 1860 now. I need to get to 2500. There's a few things you're probably going to want to change as soon as you start the game. So if you press escape and bring up this menu, you have this extra menu here. Now what the developer says is that it's impossible to design this game to make everybody happy. So he's opened up some of the things so that you can change them to make the game more to your liking. You can make the background of the game universe go faster or slower. Change different things like how fast your life support drains, stuff like that. Now one of the things you're probably going to want to click right here is instant skill training. Since you are playing by yourself, there's really no need for balance, I don't think, especially in terms of skills. So there's really no reason for you as a single player to have to wait 5 minutes for a skill to train. You've gone out, you've done the missions, you've done whatever, you've earned the skill points. So just go ahead and make it so that your skills train instantly once you purchase them. Now, for whatever reason you think that it adds to immersion or realism, you can leave that on. If you want to purchase a skill and wait 5-10 minutes before you can use it, that's up to you. There's also double click autopilot select. That makes it so that when you double click on something, you'll head in that direction. It's set to single click by default. So as soon as you launch the game, if you click on something, as soon as you get done scanning it, you'll start heading in that direction, which was kind of annoying for me, so I turned it off. There's also all these other options you can turn off and on to make the game more to your liking. So I'm going to hop back out into space here for a second. And we're just going to keep mining our little friend here. Just click on him, activate my miners, and since I'm not close enough, my ship will automatically move to get in direction. Now, supposedly over time, since I'm using these, they are going to take a little bit of damage. And you can see under there, hopefully you can see durability for these are at 98.8%. For some reason, he has the percentage sign in front instead of afterward. I'll let him worry about that. Anyway, as they go down, you might have to repair them at some point. But just out here mining, if you've ever played EVE Online, this looks very familiar to you. And all these things out here in the distance, I can click on them, and if it's an interact like that there, that big green thing, I don't know what it is, I click on it and I automatically begin scanning it. You can improve how fast it scans by buying modules. That is Lamasu Financial, so that's another thing. And even though I've taken off active targeting, it's still here in my quick bar. Some things will stay on the quick bar, some things won't, like asteroids. Like if I unselect, if I get rid of my adamite ore, then it will disappear and I'll just have to rescan it. It's not like it disappears. So I'm gonna go back to Biomate University and dock. Open up the refinery. Drag my ore over. So I got about 1 or 2 more loads to go. Now, like I said, this is a sequel to another game, which was a lot like this. The previous game kind of had like a little storyline behind it where you were a prisoner and you were sent to this one part of the galaxy that had 100 star systems in it. And your ultimate goal, our asteroid is finished off. So now we are going to have to find a new asteroid. Let's see how close this one is. Not too far. So see what happens if my ship starts. Is my ship going to automatically start heading in that direction? No. Alright, so the essential, the previous game you had to get to the 100th star system, and you could find all sorts of cool stuff in your quest for that 100th star system. And it was a living universe. I mean, it's a living universe as much as a single player, as much as a single developer can create. And you have to admit this guy has done a great job working on this. It is, I mean, it's not a perfect game. It's a game that, it's one of those games, if you like it, you'll love it. If you don't like this type of game, you're probably not going to play it. I did play the old game quite a bit. You can find the videos for the old game on this channel. I'm going to warn you now that they're not that great. That was on an older PC. One of the videos, I remember, you can barely hear me talking. But I was so anxious to get the videos up that I didn't even bother to go back and fix them. So, I'm going to go back here and dump off this ore. Dock. Refinery. And we are up to 2,480. Now, I'm not going to go back and mine just 20 more. I mean, I will, but I'm going to go ahead and activate the refinery so you can see what that does. Because I get... When you hover over it, it'll tell you this adamite ore, it's a level 1 item. Very common construction materials can be extracted from adamite. Its abundance makes for easy mining and is always in high demand. Very high compression allows for easy storage in the cargo bay. So it's a class rock, obviously, and when you refine it, I'll get some water, carbon, oxygen, salt crystal, hydrogen, and magnetic quartz. I don't know what to do with any of that stuff right now except for sell it. So when I activate it, you can see that it's going to take some time to do. So it's working on them, and it's doing one at a time, so it's going to take quite a bit of time for all this to finish refining. Now obviously I can just go and do something else now if I want to. When I come back, all this stuff will be here for me to transfer into my storage. So let's see if I can get a general estimation. So right now yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of time. So I don't know what the 12, I guess that's seconds. So 1200 seconds, 20 minutes or so. So I can let that run in the background. So I'm going to take my ship and let's go exploring just a little bit. I'm going to go to the garage. I'm going to swap out. I need to go to storage first to get my, can I switch to storage here? Can I have this look at storage instead? Apparently not. Okay, so I'm going to go to storage, get my 2 lasers out. I have this other laser here that I am not capable of using at the moment. I don't have the skills for it, so I just got 2 basic newbie lasers. I'm going to go to the garage, unequip my ore harvesters, equip my pulse lasers. Just in case we get into a tussle, like I said, we're in the starting star system. Let's look and see if there's any missions we can do while we're waiting for stuff. Harvest special adamite ore and who knew? Harvest ore and who knew? So I could be doing this for a lot more money. Head to Proctor Center and avoid Starcross. Pick up 4 ion beam class. Now I don't know if I could afford to buy those. So mine ore, and Starfort Ramos. So I could do this. Let's do that. So let's go to the garage. Let's just do that so we can see how these missions work out. So I'm going to unequip my lasers again, equip my ore harvesters. Now, since we have two systems that we're going to be in that are very high security, I'm not going to worry about having my lasers. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lasers back into storage. Wrong button. Storage. Pulse lasers back into storage. Missions. Mine special adamite ore and void Starcross and return with 94 to Damon Ammunitions in Starfort Ramos, and we'll get 2,000 for that. So if I look at the map, see how helpful that is. Right there's void Starcross, there's Starfort Ramos, mission start sector, mission end sector. All right, so have we accepted it? Accept the contract.
Be sure to follow the detailed instructions outlined in this mission contract. You can open a small objectives windows to help you along. This is located on the ship stats panel. An insurance deposit of 376 has been deducted and will be returned upon completion. Close. Alright, so let's undock. So harvest it. Mine special adamite ore. I've got 220. I've got 2 hours and 20 minutes to do it. Now here is my this is what's called the tactical view. You can bring it up by pressing the space bar, and it allows you to see some stuff without so much space clutter. And here is the special adamite ore that I need to mine. I'm going to go ahead and start heading in that direction. And now that I've got that, now I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. So special adamite ore, I just need to get close enough to it to start harvesting it. And we only need 94. So I don't have to do a whole, so I can just wait until I have 94 and then turn around. I'm not taking any damage from running into that asteroid, which is good news. So even though it's called special adamite ore in your cargo bay, it still just shows as regular adamite ore, which was good. I'm only going to redo the 94 we need. There we go. Mission harvest objectives complete. Now we're going to Starport Ramos. So let's just start approaching that. As you can see, I'm in space. My life support is still at 100%. 40 minutes and 43 seconds. It hasn't even gone down at all. Because like I said, the space weather here is very mild. Nice little star trails. Heading towards this warp gate. Now, obviously you can upgrade your engines. You can even go into first person mode. You can fly your ship with WASD if you want to. Might need to in combat. I didn't have to in the old one. The old one was pretty point and clicky as far as combat, which is fine with me because I'm an old man. So we're heading to Starport Ramos. The backgrounds in this version are a lot better than the previous version. Labor is one of the other factions. Apparently this, I have maximum targets acquired. I guess I don't need the special adamite ore anymore. I don't need that adamite ore target anymore. So here's the warp gate. You can see barely. There's a little circle with an up arrow on it. Just click on it and warp 1 engage, number 1. So we're zooming through space. Now what was interesting in the old game, like I said, each system was in each star system had its own stuff. You had to travel from warp gate to go from one star system to the other. You could fly directly from one star system to the other though. It took a while, and when you did it, sometimes you would run into weird stuff in between the star systems. Alright, I'm in Starport Ramos. I cannot see anything that might be where our... Oh, I see a big station back there. Can I just fly in this direction? No. Alright, there's the office center. I'm just going to start heading in that direction just so I can get away from the gate, because it looks like everything's back here. We're going to Damon Ammunitions. So we got to start finding it. And there it is right there, right by the gate. So I'm going to head over here and drop off this ore. It is in my cargo hold. If you've done any sort of cargo missions in Eve before, you know how fun it is to travel halfway across the universe and then realize you didn't bring the cargo with you. Civil contract mission complete. Mine special adamite ore in Void Starcross. And return with 94 to Damon Ammunitions and Starport. Alright, so I've elevated to level 3, which gives me 14 more skill points, which I can spend at university. And that disappeared. My little pop-up disappeared, but I did get my reward. Let me see if I can look at my log. Journal. 100 credit dock fee. So it doesn't show my... doesn't show anything about my completing it, but we know we completed it. Here's a mission journal. Oh, that is the same thing. Okay, so now you can see we're at a different station. It looks a little bit different on the inside. It's owned by different people. I can get a space burger for only $24.95. It looks like it has Okay, I don't know about that bun. It doesn't look like a good bun. If that's what you like your buns to look like, that's up to you. University. This has different skills that can be trained. Minor energy optimization, launch energy optimization. So different systems have different stations, different skills. If I go to the shipyard, you can see that there's different ships. Shuttles mainly, and transport frigates, none of which I can afford at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and undock and head back. Is that where I came through? No, I don't think so. Oh, that's Void Starcross. Okay, it just looks... Didn't realize we had come so far. We're gonna head back to Void Starcross and see if we can find our way back to Biomate, or maybe it's Biomati University. Our refining should still be going on. Just want to double check on it because I'm a fuss budget busybody. So navigation is pretty easy. Combat was pretty easy. If I remember. Of course, as you know, it's just a progression game. You just do missions, you build up your ship, you improve your ship, you get more skills. And I believe the death penalty is nothing too serious. Biomate University is still on my scanner, so I can just head over in that direction slowly. And I still have my leftover ore. If you've done mining missions in that other game I keep bringing up, EVE Online, you know that they have special ore for their mining missions, which is useless outside of the mining missions themselves, which is always kind of annoying because you're basically mining the same thing except it had a different letter in its name, and it was useless outside of the mining mission, which was kind of stupid in my opinion. So one big thumbs up to Astrox Imperium by making the ore you mine for missions the same ore that you mine for other stuff, so that when you have 2 left over, it's not going to go to waste. Now, what you can get by leveling up with the other factions, I don't know yet. Now, when you do create your character, when the game starts, you are asked to align yourself to certain factions and to choose certain careers. Now, you notice I have a small mining ship, and this was despite saying that I prefer to do law enforcement and a hunter-killer ship. So my ship was just a little bit different, but I did have a few different skills. Basically, it didn't have much impact on my starting that I could tell. So here we are back in our thing. I'm going to take a peek in our refinery. You can still see we got 512 seconds, which is less than 10 minutes left to go. So I'm going to stop here because we're almost to our 30-minute mark. You got a basic idea of what you can do in here. Now I am just going to do a normal playthrough through this. So you might be watching me do refining and mining for the next couple of videos, but I am going to try and do some missions. Probably what I'll do is I'll mine to fill up my refinery and then do missions while the refinery is running. So that's my plan. Obviously I want to work on upgrading to a new ship, taking on some combat missions and seeing what happens when we get into tussles with the bandits and stuff like that. Now there are wormholes in this game, which is a big change from the last one. I couldn't tell a whole lot about them from the description, other than they might seem to be like little pocket dungeons or something. So thank you for watching this far. If you have watched this far, if you want to like, if you want to subscribe, if you want to comment, that's fine. All of those things help other people find this channel. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in a little bit.